Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you aboard the old Kennywood Railroad. My name is Philip, and I am your driver today. The train that I'm currently driving is what you youngins like to call a hybrid model. Its parts of this train were originally used in 1939 at the New York World's Fair. The coaches and theme of this ride have changed over the years, but it took its first run here at Kennywood in the year of our Lord, 1945. But I guess I should start at the beginning. Our story begins way back in 1818, when Charles Kenny first purchased the land that would one day become Kennywood. The land became known as a popular picnic spot above the Monongahela River, mainly known for its grove of oak and maple trees. But our fortunes would change on December 18, 1898, when the family leased the land to the Monongahela Stream Railway Company, creating our small trolley park that we have today. Shortly after opening, the park was sold to two families. Those same families owned and operated the park into the 21st century. You may still find their names here in Kennywood Junction, if you know where to look. In those early years, visitors enjoyed picnicking under the many trees, taking a leisurely rowboat ride on the lagoon, and watching shows at the bandstand. The favorite attraction in those days were the dance hall and the Speed-O plane roller coaster, along with the oldest operating ride, the Old Mill, which debuted all the way back in 1904. During the roaring 20s, Kennywood added some popular rides that you may still be able to take a ride on today. Our current whip ride debuted in 1926 and is celebrating 100 years of thrills this season, followed by the merry-go-round and the turtle in 1927. We also maybe went a little coaster crazy, and we added 3 coasters designed by the legend himself, John A. Miller. The Jackrabbit, the Racer, and the Pippin all use the natural topography of our land, and they each have their own uniqueness. This was also the decade that the famous Kennywood arrows were first seen to help travelers find the park. In 1930, the nearby Travers Engineering Company from Beaver Falls would design 2 new rides for the park, the Auto Race and the Laugh in the Dark. These would be the last new attractions for many seasons because of the Great Depression. Many parks had to close, but Kennywood survived due to the dedication of its guests and employees like myself. Admission was free during that era, and many people spent their days playing skee-ball in the penny arcade, dancing in the dance hall, or enjoying zoo-related attractions like the Monkey House. We also had so many celebrities, though, and many had orchestras of the era play at our local band show. Eventually, the Depression subsided, and in 1936, Kennywood introduced a brand new walk-through dark ride, Noah's Ark, which is celebrating 90 years of thrills this season. And ironically, this is also the year of Pittsburgh's great St. Patrick's Day flood. Out of the Depression and into the war era, World War II was the driving force in the 1940s. Kennywood's own radio station, the Voice of Kennywood, would broadcast news from the front lines of the war from the middle of the park. By the end of World War II, the late 1940s brought some much-needed laughter with the debut of Laughing Sal, and the post-war baby boom saw the expansion of Kennyland, which was one of the largest in America at the time. And as the nation into the good old television days of the 1950s, so did Kennywood. Our band shell became hosts of many celebrities of that era, including the Lone Ranger, Clarabelle the Clown from Howdy Doody Show, and my personal favorite, the Three Stooges, just to name a few. That decade also saw the addition of our beloved fall fantasy parades and the fondly remembered Kitty Cadillacs. The 1960s and 70s were challenging times for Kennywood. Due to the introduction of theme parks, Kennywood had to make big changes in order to compete. We saw the addition of the popular gas-powered turnpike ride in 1966. And in 1968, with the demand for a new roller coaster and no room to build one, the park's then master mechanic, Andy Vettel, redesigned the Pippin, creating a more thrilling wooden roller coaster called the Thunderbolts. And it was ranked as the nation's best in the New York Times in 1974, and it still ranks among the top 30 wooden coasters in the world to this day. By the turn of the 1970s, we made the decision to build our first $1 million attraction, the Log Jammer. This helped launch us into a new era, and it still remains to this day the only log flume ever built to feature a spillway drop element. We also decided to retire the popular characters of Henry and Howdy Doody in favor of our own mascots, including Kenny Kangaroo and Cheaters. But if you want to know the most important addition to the park in this era, is the Potato Patch and its world-class French fries, which were ranked the best in America in 1988. We opened in the 80s with the addition of our first steel coaster, the Laser Loop. Designed by the German manufacturer Anton Schwarzkopf, the ride launched out of the station from 0 to 50 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds through a vertical loop and back again. It was sure a white-knuckle ride. We also added some thrilling rides to our lineup, including the Gold Rusher, the Pirate, and the Wave Swinger. In 1985, we replaced our music plaza in the Little Dipper with the Raging Rapids, and in 1988, we became forever immortalized by Rick Seaback in his WQED documentary, Kennywood Memories. The 1990s soared to life with the addition of the world's fastest roller coaster, the Steel Phantom. We also added our biggest expansion to date, Lost Kennywood. Now, lots of you may notice on the Pittsburgh Plunge and on the Kennywood, on the Lost Kennywood Archway, that Pittsburgh is spelled without an H on the entrance building. But that's not a mistake. That's because this was themed to Oakland's Luna Park from the turn of the century, and that's how Pittsburgh spelled its name at the time. Lost Kennywood brought the addition of the indoor spinning coaster called the Exterminator and the 251-foot tall Pitfall Drop Tower. May that ride rest in peace. This was also when we were first making recognized as a National Historic Landmark, one of only 2 amusement parks in the world to feature that historic nomination, and we celebrated our 100th anniversary. It was time for the turn of another century, and using some techniques we used on the Thunderbolt, we adapted the Steel Phantom into the Phantom's Revenge in 2001, and is celebrating 25 years of thrills this season. We also added some thrilling rides to our lineup, including the Aero 360, Skyrocket, and the Black Widow. The year 2002 saw an end to our popular tradition of closing on Labor Day. During Phantom Fall Fest, guests can enjoy our haunted rides and experiences after dark, and also some of your favorite haunts and scare zones. Starting in 2011, guests can enjoy millions of lights and even some of your favorite rides in the winter at our Holiday Lights Christmas Time celebration. In 2019, we again became home to the Keystone State's tallest and fastest coaster with the debut of the Steel Curtain. And during the COVID pandemic and afterwards, we celebrated our 125th birthday with some park-wide enhancements that celebrated our past while also looking to the future. Well, as you can see, after 128 seasons, a lot has changed, but one thing never will. Kennywood is a place to escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and to create new memories together. We hope you enjoyed your ride here on the Old Kennywood Railroad, and it's been a pleasure to give you guys a stroll around the park, and we hope to be entertaining you and your family for generations to come.
I think that was the only ride my dad went on with me.
Yeah, I know. But he did it, so that counts.
That's why I'm so glad it's here.
We're almost back at the station. Please make sure that you gather all your loose articles and remain seated until the station attendant gives you the all clear. Thanks for riding the Old Kennywood Railroad. We'll see you on your next adventure soon here at Kennywood.
Something from the past that's still here.
Yeah.
And I did it with you. I did it with Mike. I rode that ride.
Right. I rode it with Jared.
Jared? Yeah. You did.